It is difficult to imagine how any behavior in the presence of another person can avoid being a communication of one's own view of the nature of one's relationship with that person and how it can fail to influence that person. Meaning, we are influenced almost by anything and everything that happens around ourselves in one way or another. If we are not really that conscious, if we are not aware of our boundaries, limitations, shortcomings, weaknesses, and if we have not recognized and integrated our shadow and darkness and many other problems, if we have not resolved any of that, then we're going to be constantly negated by the others, violated by the societal demands, outside judgments, opinions, thoughts, ideologies, and public premises, obstacles, and barriers. We're going to be compromised, negated, influenced, and judged by all that if we have not placed boundaries in our lives. So the boundaries have to be placed and they have to be in place all the time. We have to have boundaries, distinctions in our lives alongside weaknesses so that we can also question ourselves, we can criticize ourselves from time to time, we can investigate our actions, evaluate our behaviors, examine our faults, and then lead to a very improved, progressive, liberal kind of lifestyle. And obviously, we have to have weaknesses also, which we can understand and criticize within ourselves in one way or another. Then only that will lead to growth, progress, learning, and ultimately to transformation and greatness, significance, distinction, and dignity of some kind or another. But by the other people's communications and chatters also, we are somehow, somewhere influenced in one way or another if we are nearer to them or if we are in close proximity to outside behavior and external communications, then we're somehow influenced by that in one way or another. And that is something which is unavoidable because we're in a society. Now we can be in solitude, but we will have to go out, we will see people discussing, communicating something or another. We will believe that they are talking or discussing ourselves, but that is not really the case. And obviously, that's why we just have to know our shadows. We have to understand what is not our shadow, the other's shadow, which one is, what is our problem, what is our misfortune, what is not ours. We have to understand all of these differentiations. We just have to understand that we have a shadow and which is our shadow, which is not our shadow. And that shadow has to be recognized and integrated. Then it won't cause interruptions, interferences, and problems anymore in our behavior, psychology, action, achievement, ambition, prosperity, progress, evolution, etc. But unintegrated shadows is going to cause constant problems in our behaviors and cause anxiety and insecurity anyways. So we are influenced by the other people's communications also, even if that does not involve or concern ourselves.